Low tech is so powerful. Let me tell you a story. We were selling software, and so I used this actually. You know that last story I told you about where I flinched? I used this technique in that last story. It was an internal pitching a project internally. So what we did is my selling partner and I, we were presenting to this high-tech company this new software, and instead of doing a PowerPoint, because that's what everybody did, and there were a lot of problems with technology, we're not going to do technology. We printed out one slide that had a cool graphic that showed the business proposition, and it had a backside to it. And we printed out, and we had about 8 people in the meeting around a table, so we printed out about, not 8 copies, we printed out about 3. And so we strategically placed them in a way that everybody had to share. So we get these leaders, and they're in there sharing, they're looking, and they're very interested in this piece of paper on the table because it told a story that we wanted to tell. And so we talked them through this story. So it was low tech. We didn't turn the computer on, and we sold the deal because we were able to communicate. We were able to just have a relationship with them. So I used that same experience when I was pitching an internal. I've done this several times, pitching an internal project. So powerful not to turn on the computer. Recently, I did this at BYU. I gave everybody a scenario, and I said, okay, you can't use technology, and you have 4 minutes to tell me to solve this one problem. And the students, and I put them in little teams, and the students would come in, and several of them were still using their iPhone. I'm like, no, you can't use that. So I'd take points off. But a couple of them got it, and they came in with like a handout or a banner that they had printed, right? Some of them tried to write on the whiteboard. Bad idea, unless you've got good handwriting and you can do it fast. So it didn't work. Now here's what I've seen work really well. I've seen a flannel board story work really well. No kidding. I've done a flannel board story in business probably half a dozen times. It works great. You don't have to make it a little kiddie style stuff, although you can if you know your audience, and it can be fun. But the idea of building, that's what PowerPoint does, is it builds concepts, right? Well, imagine taking a concept and just building it across the wall. I've done it from one end of the wall to the other. Imagine just doing that. And you can tell a tremendous story that way. But you got to have big enough stuff that makes sense. Okay.
Check us out at leaders247.com.